free spending so that the administration can continue its incredible work through raw partisan politics, the tax component, as you said, Mark, along with regulatory reform. We've got to make sure that the Trump-era tax cuts from the first administration are extended.
Let's watch some clips of an oddly orange Mike Johnson on Mike Levin's show on Fox News doing the usual MAGA propaganda. So strap in, smash that like button as you do it. I'd really appreciate it. It helps the video a lot. And let's debunk this nonsense.
We put the Democrats on record for just raw partisan politics. Mark, think of it. 99% of the Democrats in Congress, both the House and the Senate, voted to shut the government down to try to make some sort of aimless political point. It's shameless. They're using the American people as pawns. But Republicans are getting the job done, and we're sticking up for the country.
And this bill, what's in this bill generally? I mean, there's an increase for defense. There's a reduction in domestic spending, I understand. What pretty much is in this bill, generally?
Well, here's what we try to do. We wanted to pass a resolution that would effectively freeze spending so that the administration can continue its incredible work through DOGE and through the other efforts of the administration to go in and root out the fraud, waste, and abuse.
This is why Schumer shouldn't have caved like an absolute spineless coward, because regardless, these clowns are going to frame it like they're the ones sticking up for working people. So Democrats at least should have, taken that on the chin while actually sticking up for the working people. When this is a CR to gut Medicaid, to gut food stamps, to allow DOGE more power to slash things like Social Security and Medicare, I mean, just moments after this passed, for instance, after 10 weak Democrats folded and allowed this Republican budget to pass, Trump announced the destruction of the Interagency on Homelessness, the Minority Business Development Agency, among other crucial programs for underrepresented or impoverished communities, because that's who these people are. And that's who Democrats decided to give into, all to just cram more funding into their tax cuts.
Border security completely funded to ensure we stay on top of that problem. We'll get back to American energy dominance again. Thank goodness. That'll be good for the economy and national security. We'll help to continue to restore peace and exert peace through strength. That's one of our guiding principles. And of course, the tax component, as you said, Mark, along with regulatory reform. We've got to make sure that the Trump-era tax cuts from the first administration are extended. And we're going to do it in a permanent fashion. And so what that will do is give stability to the markets. It will make sure that we don't have the largest tax increase in U.S. history, which is what would happen by default if we failed in this mission at the end of this year. So a lot of big work, a lot of compromises and discussion and deliberation that has to be made over the next 5 to 6 weeks among the Republican Party. But we will do this on our own because I anticipate we'll have 0 Democrats to help with this.
Yeah, just a few things to add here. Under Biden, we were more energy independent, not just than us in U.S. history, but than any country ever in history in any period of time. I love that just being like, nuh-uh, MAGA will now take credit for that when Trump claims it. Also, important that he states the 2017 tax cuts will be getting extended and made permanent. This again just guarantees Trump's campaign promises of no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security were all just complete lies that he was selling to get support that Republicans were never even going to attempt to fund, as the resolution they passed on their first attempt, they didn't negotiate, they didn't even try to get it in. It doesn't allow enough money for any of it if they are to renew the 2017 tax cuts, which you just heard him say himself they are. So instead, we're just getting tax cuts for businesses that hurt business investment last time they were passed, matched with tariffs that will hurt multiple industries. I'm sure this will be great for job growth in the middle class.
We've got to make sure this is the bill that will deliver the real economic relief for the American people. It will give certainty to job creators and entrepreneurs and risk takers, the people that provide the jobs in our economy, our society, and all of these things, border security, stability on the world stage. It needs to happen immediately. So we're going to move that as quickly as possible through the congressional process and try to get it wrapped up by the early summer, middle of summer. And that will ensure that people feel the effects of it. And certainly before the midterm elections in 2026, that's going to be an important factor for us politically as well as in every other respect.
Let me put you on to some left economic theory, in other words known as the cold hard truth. Tax cuts do not create jobs or any of the nonsense that he's saying, which is why we've literally never seen it happen. I have an interview with Pulitzer Prize winning journalist James Steele, who gives us all the numbers on this. Tax cuts incentivize more wealth hoarding, which is why business investment drops after tax cuts and stock buybacks increase. They just want to line their pockets more. Them getting more money doesn't make make them want to make you richer. Oh no, humans are selfish. Tax increases, however, create jobs through driving investment. As a means to avoid the tax, they will invest the money. It's not, oh, it's nice. No, it's we're going to force you not to hold your wealth because you're a selfish fuck. They're going to rush this sloppy bill to the floor to vote on it for no other reason than to hope to have something to run on in 2026. So it's not the manslaughter that it's currently lining up to be with Trump and Elon threatening entitlements and constitutional rights.